Good morning, Goddard. This is Anthony Wilkinson. It is November the 8th, 2010. It's around 10 in the morning, and I'm down here at Rotary Cove Beach. As you can see, it's November. The beach is kind of packed up for the season. You can see the erosion control fencing behind and to the sides of me here. And today I'd like to talk a little bit about what I think is one of the main reasons how companies choose to do business with another company, or why people or entities choose to do business with a certain consultant or vendor. And I believe it has to do with expertise in their niche. And I wrote a little bit of an intro to this on the blog, but the article I'm talking about is this one here, which you probably can't see, but the headline is "City Spending $72,000 for Business Social Media Training." And I said the summary is the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana has selected a company from Illinois to train city staff on how to use social media. And there's some questions about why they chose somebody from out of state. And I've had kind of a similar experience in this, and to what's happened in Fort Wayne. So I just want to talk a little bit about kind of my experience and why I think there's some interesting information in this article. I'm going to talk about this article first. So, as you can see, Fort Wayne hired a social media company, actually hired more of a PR firm, really, to teach them how to use social media. There's questions about why they chose this company. Again, this company's from out of state. It's relevant for, especially for anybody who's involved with a municipality, because municipalities, there's often pressure to, and rightly so, to support companies from within the municipality or from within the community. People want to do business locally if possible. And when an entity like a town or a city or a county hires from out of the area, there's a lot of questions raised about why that happens. And I think from this whole article, as I said, I posted a link, you can read it yourself, but the biggest quote I think in here that's telling, first of all, actually, kudos to Fort Wayne for getting on board and for realizing that a two-way interaction is kind of how these communities are supposed to work, and using the web to support a conversation is a way of the future, and I think is a way to increase happiness in the municipality and increase visibility on issues where people have a voice, which is mainly the problem with is trying to combat apathy. And certainly on the municipal level, I can see that that's always an issue. So to giving more people ways to interact with the municipality, I think is important. So kudos to Fort Wayne for realizing that there's a need there and getting and getting into it and getting people trained on how to use these tools. But the second thing is really the quote in here, which is basically why they picked this company, is selected not only for its technical expertise, but because it had already worked with other governments. And that, I think, is the most telling quote in this article. The next quote, of course, is, "We want people to be able to communicate back with us. Right now, the city's website only pushes information out," which is my main, when I talk with companies and municipalities and people like that, I'm always, you want to create a conversation. If you are just pushing information out, which is the way most people use the web right now and use their websites, then you are missing, half the conversation. And if you're just getting into social media just to push information out, you're really wasting your time, because people are going to tune that out very quickly. So back to the earlier point, is that the Fort Wayne had chosen this company because they have had past experience dealing with other cities, with other municipalities. And I think this is something very important that all business people need to be aware of, is that when you're going to hire, companies will want to hire other companies or vendors or consultants, or people want to deal with businesses that are in their space, that are demonstrating expertise that is focused on what it is you're doing. So, for instance, if I manufacture plastics, then oftentimes I'm going to want to deal with companies that have had prior experience dealing with companies that manufacture plastics, just as an example. So, If this is a consultant, I'm going to want to hire a consultant with expertise in the plastics manufacturing industry. The same way municipalities are very much the same way, is that if they want to hire a company to do A, B, or C, they want to, oftentimes I hire companies that are specialized in working with municipalities, because if you're a plastics manufacturer, you're different, you operate your business differently than you would if you're a municipality, than you would if you were in agriculture. Let's say you have a greenhouse operation. Again, a very niche, specialized industry, is that you're going to want to work with vendors, typically, that have experience in greenhousing. So that is kind of my message for a lot of companies, is to see, realizing what those triggers are for your prospective clients and how they buy. Is if you have expertise in their space, that's going to be a really big factor. And what I suggest of a number of companies as well is that you might not necessarily want to have to start a different company to work with these niches. But let's say there's 2 or 3 key niches in your area, for instance, like real estate or law offices, or again, I'm thinking kind of like a consulting IT standpoint, is all of these kind of firms need technical expertise. Is then you would have sort of a different product for law offices than you would have for real estate. You have a different product for real estate. And so you're offering, obviously there's overlap in what you do for these 2 businesses, these two markets, but you can create a different product for each of them that kind of, so there's going to be a common thread of what you do, but there's going to be different things you bring to the table that are going to be attractive to a law office, and you have different things that you bring to the table that might be attractive for real estate markets. So that's kind of my blurb about that. As I said, in my past experience, I was involved in bidding to build a website for a municipality, and there was 2 companies brought in. We were the local company, and there was a company from out of town that was brought in. And the reason the company, well, there were a number of reasons, but I think the main reason they, at least after the fact, is trying to get feedback on why we lost the job, was like the other company had built a product specifically for municipalities. And for us, we're a custom software development house. So partly due to my inexperience in selling, actually to municipalities, is trying to understand how they need, is we kind of pitch it as, we build things that are a mirror image of your process right now, but we optimize it for working over the web. And there's going to be some process changes, yes, but we see how you work, and then we build tools tailored to the way you run your operation. And so we kind of came with like a really kind of business savvy, business-oriented approach, where the company that builds tools for municipalities they'd already brought in a ready-made tool saying, we work with these municipalities, so you can contact them for information. We'll show you how the tool works and how municipalities are using them. And that, I think, is a really powerful message to the people who are making those decisions, is, this company has built products for municipalities already, and there's a lot of built-in. The word I'm looking for is social proof, but you're looking for, those companies are recommending this company. They're experts in the space, and I think that's how they got that job. So for your company, how can you demonstrate? If you're looking to engage with a client, have you worked with similar clients in the past? Is there a way to demonstrate a brand or a product that's targeted on that group, on that what they call vertical market of businesses, and how can you do business with them more effectively? So that's my talk. I hope it helps. And good morning, Goddard, and I hope to talk to you soon. Take care.